Sync. I'm going to talk a little bit very briefly about our product within SnapOn Software, which is called Intake. It is a application which is a platform agnostic intake form solution, works with both Salesforce, Microsoft 365 and NetSuite, and it allows you to supplement what we've seen today. So it allows you to capture those data capture processes which are not currently ideally suited within the solutions which we've already talked about. It's got some really nice capabilities. It connects directly to Salesforce. It's got controls to manage things like conditional logic, required data, as well as advanced features like QR codes, camera controls, and Canvas. We can build, and I'll show you briefly in a quick demonstration, we can build forms in minutes, make them available to people on tablets, laptops, mobile devices, easily to capture data through different use cases. So some of the examples which maybe you wouldn't be able to cover in the solutions which we've talked about so far today within Education Cloud, or where offering more mobile first options may be more suitable. So doing things like surveys or feedback forms from like events and open days, which you've gone out and engaged with different schools, potentially capturing contact information from people during those visits, or if you're running separate business events to get sort of sponsorship or support or internships programs with businesses, that you can capture those information, whether that's at events or other things which you're doing. Simple registration processes. So think of things like, do you want to do, as a student, do you want to sign up for something like a program, a club, a sports body, or something else like that during your time with the university? These can be really made available very simply via QR code sign up. So I'll show you that briefly. And then also taking it beyond just the admissions process. So covering things like maintenance issues, being able to report faults very easily with things like camera control integration and other very simple, easy to use Canvas controls to capture that data. Briefly to show you, you can sign into Intake using any of these options, including Salesforce. This is the designer interface. So as a designer, I can go and build new forms. These forms are really simple to use. So I can select the relevant table from within Salesforce, and I can come in here and create a new form. All of those fields from that table are available for me to use. It's really simple. I can just drag and drop those fields directly on the form and lay out my form however I want it to do. There's also additional controls like capture files, signature lines. Canvas allows us to do things like take a picture on our phone and mark that up, as well as text boxes, choices, other types of controls. We can control the style of these forms, as well as what gets filled in when someone submits the form. On individual fields, we can implement conditional content and validation. So this particular option will define when this field is shown or not. And also we can put in validations to say, for example, this is required to be of a type email, or a number of other standard rules, as well as custom rules, which you can implement. What do one of these forms actually look like? Well, the good thing is you can actually go and access them directly from within the form itself. So here you get some really nice options to make that form available. We can open it directly within the browser. That's an external accessible link, which I can go and fill in now and complete that form. And this data doesn't require me to log in, and it will be automatically submitted to Salesforce. We can have those sort of conditional controls. So if I like that particular field, I can then interact with it more. So we've got these different types of rating controls, and I can go and submit this data, And in this case, this will go and create me a contact directly within my Salesforce system. So, and there you go, there's my new contact record created. Other things to note here, you've got the embed code, so you can just copy and embed this directly on your website. You've got the sort of styling options, as well as having pre-filled values. So for example, if you're at an event or a roadshow or visiting a school, you could pre-tag all of the entries which you get from that specific entry. Also, for those of you who want to follow along, every one of the forms comes with a QR code capability. So if I just do that on my phone, and I'll switch to my app on my Mac in a second as that loads. So here we can see it should work exactly the same on my mobile device. So mobile ready forms as well. So really easy to capture data in whatever use case you want to do. And that data goes and feeds directly into Salesforce. So to capture all of those other intake, admissions needs, which maybe you can't natively do, or it lends itself to these sort of mobile first intake forms.